What's up? This is your girl Jackie O. And first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys so much. I got so much love last week from my tribute to my angel daughter, Natalia, and O Squad. You guys truly rock. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the emails and text messages and tweets of love and support. I needed it. I felt it. I felt the love. I felt being circled by my tribe with nothing but love and positive energy. So, thank you so much. And this week, I am back with one of the things I love doing the most, which is Black women doing the most. And if this is your first time today to my channel, to my website, hey girl, hey! I am Jackie O, and I have a website and a vlog devoted to helping other Black women travel full time and or move abroad. I'm a single mom who travels around the world with my toddler daughter who is getting ready to turn 2 years old, baby Ruth. So stay tuned for scenes from her virtual birthday party. It'll be coming up in upcoming weeks. And this week, I got to interview a dope queen who is doing the most in Luxembourg, which is a little teeny tiny city state in Europe, and she is in her 20s. She's from the Midwest. She is a gorgeous sister. Hoosierontherun is her hashtag on Instagram and social. So, YouTube, all that. And just check her out and listen to the interview and learn, be inspired. Know that this life is possible for you. If you want Blacksit, if you want to be out, if you want to move abroad, there are so many ways to do it. So stay tuned, learn how. And as always, guys, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification button. And most importantly, after you watch this video, hit the like button. Help a sister out. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Join the O Squad. Become part of this family, a part of this movement of Black women saying deuces and saying we're going to live the best life we can for us. What's up, you guys? This is Jackie O, and welcome to Black Women Doing the Most. As you guys know, when I wake up and I'm about to record a podcast slash vlog, because I just switched to recording these as well, because I want you guys to see how phenomenal these women are all around the globe. Um, I just get so super pumped and excited. Some of these guys I'm doing at like 4 a.m., like crazy times, but I don't care because I get to connect to some badass sisters, and that just makes me so happy. And now we got a amazing chica from the Midwest who is doing the most. And the one thing I love about doing this is that I get to connect to women that like, because I feel like the biggest feedback I get is like, Jackie, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm from here. I'm from there. And it's like, don't limit yourself. Like, don't limit your mind. Like, you can be a girl from anywhere. I always say, I'm proudly, I'm a girl from the hood. And like, I did it. I moved abroad. I'm traveling the world with my toddler. So if you come up with excuses, there'll always be a reason why you can't do something. So let me connect you to a Hoosier. And you know she's from the Midwest when she says Hoosier. Like that, there's a whole culture of movies like that iconic. And I'm going to let her introduce herself because I like to give my guests an opportunity to just present themselves to the world because I don't ever think I do them justice to just how amazing and badass they are. So girl, I'm going to pass the basketball to you, and I'm going to let you tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
Sounds good. Well, hi everybody. I'm Jackie. We share the same name, two travelers with the same first name. We have a lot in common already.
And they're spelled the same too.
I know. They're so rare.
Yeah.
But as she said earlier, I'm from the Midwest. I grew up in the Chicago area, and I lived in Chicago for the past 2 years before I left to travel the world. I'm 27. I'm a proud American, and I'm living in Europe.
So, and I like the fact you said you're 27 because I do get from a lot of people like, I'm so young. I'm too young to travel. Like, I can't do it by myself. So, can you just respond to that? Like, because you've been in Europe for how long?
So, let's see. On this stint in Europe, I've been here for 8 months. But
Okay.
last summer, June 2019, I spent the summer in Spain for 3 months. And to be completely honest, I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I started too late because
Really?
yes, there are so many people I met here traveling that are like 18 traveling and just like, oh, I'm going to go to Amsterdam. Oh, I'm going to ride my bike from Amsterdam to Spain. And just like, what? Like by themselves, women, mind you. That's like, a thing that we always worry about, being alone as a woman, traveling as a woman. And I see people doing it and I'm like, I feel completely reassured because I see other people doing it, and that's encouraging for me to keep going even further.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm so glad you said that because that is one big thing. People are like, I'm a woman. I can't do it alone. I can't do it by myself. I'm too young. But again, that's all like limiting beliefs. Now let's talk about like what got you there. Like what motivated you? What I always like to get this from my audience. For my audience.
Hmm. Honestly, I mean, I have to be completely honest. It was my dad. My dad, it was just so funny because we talk about this all the time with my dad, and my parents are really like reluctant to let me go, and they were just like, oh, it's so dangerous, you need to stay in America, there's so much happening, you need to be with family, da 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 da. And I'm just like, yes, that's all true, but like if I keep waiting, I'm gonna be waiting and waiting and waiting, and you know what I mean. But my dad, when I was younger, he used to make me like practice languages and like watch movie documentaries about like traveling in Rick Steves Europe. Oh God.
I
Oh
love it.
my
I love
God.
it. I
Yes, he used to
love
make
it.
me watch that stuff. He used to make me learn Spanish, French, Italian. Like, I mean, I wasn't fluent as a kid, but he was just always like putting it in my life. And I was so annoyed as a kid. I was so annoyed. I was like, oh my God, my dad doesn't do the same thing that other dads do. But now that I'm older,
Uh-huh.
it shaped me to be like this Magellan that I am. You know what I mean? This navigator that I am. So I mean, it's my dad for the most part.
No, that's so, and I feel like in some ways that is like a consistent like theme through every woman
Really?
that I've interviewed so far from like their podcast. It's always been some like role model in their life who, even if they didn't take them places, was always like, read this book, get an encyclopedia, like expand your mind, like
Right.
you can be more than like what you see in these like four blocks. I know the exact same thing was true with me and my mama. My mom was like, got me an encyclopedia, good girl, because I was born before Google and
Yeah, yeah.
the internet.
Hmm.
So that's like so amazing. So like, tell us about your journey. Actually, how did you end up in Europe? Like, what did you do to get here?
Okay. So, in Europe, I mean, I've always wanted to travel. I mean, along with my dad motivated me, but like books when I was younger, reading books about people traveling, movies, namely the Cheetah Girls too. I don't know if you saw that
Yeah, I know
movie
Cheetah Girls. I know Cheetah Girls.
when
Okay,
they went to
I got little
Barcelona. I
cousins. I
was
got little
like,
cousins.
yep, I'm going to Spain. So Spain was actually the first country that I went to when I went to Europe. That was my first like big major long-term travel
So, but
session.
was that traveling or was that traveling and working? Did you work in Spain when you were there?
Traveling and working, yes. I was an au pair last
Okay.
summer.
And then like people like, because I actually think being au pair is like amazing if you like kids. So like explain to my audience, for somebody who doesn't even know what that word au pair means, what does it mean and like how did you become it?
So au pair actually is French, and it means on par, so like equal footing. So basically you come and you join a family as a family member, a quasi family member. I don't know if you hear the kids yelling right now, but anyway. Um, so yes, you join the family as a family member. You help out with childcare, and basically, it's like a cultural exchange. You come and you learn the language of the country, and in turn, you teach the kids and sometimes the family your language that you bring, and it's really enriching, and it's a really good way to travel as well. So, yeah.
And there's lots of people who don't know how it works. Do you have to pay the family to stay there, or do they pay you? How does it work?
Well, because like they're providing childcare as well as like English help, it really is an exchange of services. So there is pocket money that's provided, as
Okay.
it's not really a job, like a formal job. It's more of an exchange, and you're like a family member, so you kind of get like what's comparable to an allowance or pocket money and everything. In my country, in Luxembourg, everything is mandated by the government. So
Oh,
that is, yes, there. It's not like that in every country, but in the country I'm in, everything is pretty much controlled by the and monitored by the government, and they provide like a pocket money and support and like rules and regulations and a contract and all of that.
so you feel safe?
Definitely. And
Okay.
supported.
Okay.
And like the families are monitored and interviewed, and they check out the space to make sure it's suitable for the au pair. But again, this is just this country. In Spain, there is no formal au pair program. It's pretty much just like however people do it. You know what I mean? Like you have a contract, but it's not mandated by the government.
And how do you find your families?
I found my family on aupairworld.com. It's like a website that's kind of like a dating website where you have your profile. Yeah, you have a profile.
Uh-huh.
Like I made my profile as an au pair, saying like, oh, this is what I'm like, this is what I do. These are my goals. This is why I want to travel. And then the host family, they do the same thing. They say like, oh, we're this kind of family. We do this for our job. We live in this area. This is what we like to do for fun. Da 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 da. And then they contact each other to make sure they have the same ideas and they want to have like the same experiences.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, like, when you were looking for a family, what were you looking for?
I was looking for a family that was interested in learning about a different culture, and that would be very inclusive and supportive, and also had some experience with other au pairs. You know what I mean? That were comfortable with having somebody else live in their house, be very welcoming, um, and be willing to help with like French and do a real exchange, you know?
Yeah. So, how was that? Like, how is it going? Like, the kids, I'm assuming, do they speak English and French, or they just speak English? Like, what's that like?
So I'm helping the oldest one like with formal English lessons, and I just interact with the youngest one in English. And her English, the youngest one, she's so funny. She's picking up English really fast because we
Okay.
do a lot of activities together. We sing English music together. I read her English stories sometimes. And everything I say to her is in English. But if she doesn't understand me, I'll speak French to her, and then I'll like repeat it in English so she can know like, oh, this is what this means in English. And yeah, she's really smart. There's a lot of times where I
How old
have
is she?
conversations. She's 4.
Oh, she's a baby. Okay. Okay.
Yes. There's a lot of times where I'll have private conversations in my room and she'll like respond to what I'm saying. And I'm like, oh my goodness, she's getting too smart. But
I love it.
anyway,
Okay.
yeah, it's really fulfilling to see like all your work that you're doing is like really coming to fruition. You know what I mean? And to just see how a child is growing
Mhm.
and the bond that you have is just really amazing. With the older one, we do more formal interactive
Okay.
English lessons, and that's not something that was required. It was something that I volunteered because I've been an English teacher before.
Oh,
um
that helps you a lot. I mean, that made
and I
you
know what I'm
super
doing.
valuable.
Yeah.
That made you super, super valuable. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, we just like we do television, we watch television together, and I make sure she comprehends things and I ask her questions. We do reading, and we also do lyrics translations because there's a lot of yes. Those are the best ways to learn English because
Girl,
there's a
what
lot of
songs
times
they
I hear
listen to though? What songs they listen to? Some of those lyrics.
no, no. I make sure they're very age appropriate. But there's
Okay.
a lot of times I'll catch somebody singing a song who's not like a non-native English speaker, and they're just like mumbling the words. I'm like, okay, we're gonna learn what this is actually saying. We're not gonna just be mumbling these words. So yeah, that's what I do.
And then what are your hours like? Just give my audience kind of a peek into what is that like.
Oh, it's really a blissful life.
Okay.
I work max 25 hours a week.
Say what?
25 hours a week. But the catch is, I mean, okay. So you live with a family, so you don't have to pay for rent or anything, and they also provide groceries. So those are two major expenses that are taken care of,
And you
as
have a
well as
nice room. Like, you have a nice room. Like, it's everything's
yes, I would show you, but I'm not prepared for that.
no, 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 no worries. You don't gotta do all that, girl. We ain't trying to do it for y'all in
Okay.
your business like that, okay? I just want the
Okay.
audience to know that like you're not in like some shack behind like with water dripping in. Like people always think worse when they say like you gotta go live with somebody. So I just want you to make my audience comfortable with the fact that like you have like a room that's like nice.
Yes, my room, yes, is very nice. But I will say there are some families that try to play the okie doke and try to get away with it.
Okay.
But that's up to what you tolerate and what you put your foot down about. You know what I mean? But anyway, we getting off. I'm about to get on a tangent.
Look, she's from Chicago, y'all. Don't forget.
But yeah, the accommodations are really good. What was I about to say? Oh yes, okay. So you live in the house rent free, groceries are provided, and you get pocket money. But the pocket money is it's not substantial. But for me, it's perfectly fine. But when you factor everything in, like the pocket money, the rent or the free room, the accommodation, groceries, and health insurance, that's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing. As an American, I'm like, oh, I'm about to be over here forever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And when I say health insurance, it's like the system is very modeled off of like a universal healthcare system. Like, yes. So the government pays 88% of your costs for all healthcare. So you have to pay what is that? 12 to no. What is that?
That's okay.
22. Anyways, you have to pay the rest of 88%. I can't think right now. Anyway.
Oh wait, girl, I thought she was giving us a number. Yeah, okay, 22, 26.
18%. There you go. Woo, Lordy. All right. Yes, that's what you have to pay for the rest of the insurance. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's so wonderful.
That right there is game changer. Like audience, like wants to come in au pair, if you don't mind children, like 25 hours a week, free housing, all your food provided. And like so I want to hear about what you do with the rest of your time, because you're teaching kids, you already have that English language teaching background, which is already makes you a million times ahead of like a lot of people. But like, what else do you do? Because I know people are going to wonder, like, what did she do with the rest of her time? Like, while we sitting up here working, well, not me, because I'm not about that life anymore, but like 40, 60 hours a week in America, what's she doing?
We're really getting bamboozled, I'm telling you. But anyways, we're getting bamboozled in America or overall. Like, that's another topic. But once you leave the country, you realize, this is how they do it over here. But anyways, what I do are outside of my time. Another perk I left out. The family pays for your language lessons.
Wait, not their conversations with you, but like language, like a teacher?
Yes, formal language lessons while you're during your stay. Yes.
How many hours a week?
Well, it depends on the classes, but I mean, they pay for like the entire time that you're here. So if you have a year contract, they're paying for an entire year of the lessons that you want to learn of the country. Yes.
So wait, last summer was Spanish. So you did Spanish, and now it's French.
So okay, these are the rules for Luxembourg, the country I'm in now. For Spain, it depends on the family because it's not a real formal governmental agency for au pairs. But yes, Luxembourg rules and regulations are the family has to pay for language lessons along with the other things. Because it's a real exchange. You know what I mean? It's like you're a family member.
Luxembourg's not playing. Okay. All right, so tell me a little bit more about like what you do when you're not with the kids, like what life in Luxembourg is like. The question I'm always gonna get, and I know somebody gonna post in the comments, are there Black people in Luxembourg? Do you see them? Because that's in the top 10 questions I get all the time. So
no, that was my first worry for real. I was like, what is it gonna be like over here? Yes, there's a lot of Black people here. My free time, I mean, I do my language lessons. Actually, I studied French in college and in high school.
Okay.
So I pretty much know all the like rules. I just need to practice. So I have a conversation partner that I practice with. And we practice for about 4 hours a week. And then I watch television in French and I go out and I like interact with people. And there's actually like au pair social groups, so I spent a lot of time with them.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
And are they
like
from,
chats, group chats and stuff.
are they from like all over the world?
Yes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yes, yes.
And are
Uh,
they all females or are there male au pairs as well?
Majority females, but yes, there are some males. Some is yeah.
And have you met any more Black American au pairs?
Yes. Actually, there's another one from Chicago, but she's leaving soon. But yes,
Really?
she's a Black American and she's from Chicago. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my
Okay.
goodness, God
Wow.
put her here
Yeah.
for me.
Wow, exactly. Like, what are the chances? What are the
Mm-hmm.
chances?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So you hang out with the other au pairs. Like, no, how
Mm-hmm.
difficult or easy was it to connect with people, to make friends?
Well, okay, so I'm a very social person. Like, of course, I need my alone time, but I'm the person to get the party going. Let's do this. Let's meet up.
Mhm.
To be honest, culturally, the Benelux area, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, that
Mhm.
area they're very different from Americans. They're very like reserved, they're quiet to a degree, but like once you get to know them, they can be nice. But the cultural differences that's pretty tough for me. Honestly, it's honestly something I'm still adjusting to, and people can be very reserved and like kind of standoffish when trying to make connections. To be completely honest,
No, that's
um,
really good insight. And like, what have
mhm.
you done to like, I guess, cope with it or deal with it?
And just keep moving forward. I also, before Corona hit and everything, I was in salsa dancing classes so that you meet people there. Let's see. Uh, there's actually expat groups on Facebook, and I've met a lot of people. Like I'm celebrating the 4th of July with, people I've met in that group. Um, so yeah, just branching out. Facebook is a lifesaver for real.
Facebook.
So just Facebook, the au pair group, meetup.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also like to talk to people I meet, like just going
Me
out and like on the
too.
bus and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, me. I'm one of those people too, but like I realize that like I think we might be in a minority because like that probably is, and when I talk about the top 10 questions I get asked, another one is like, well, how do you meet people? And I'm like shy and I just can't go
Hmm.
and talk to like strangers. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I'll talk to anybody, anywhere. I'll talk to you on a bus, on a hill,
Right,
on
right,
a bike.
right. Oh,
So,
cute shoes, cute dress.
yeah,
Where'd you get it from? Da 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 da
yeah,
da.
yeah, exactly. And
Hmm.
I also I don't know what you like with your French language skills, but for me at least with learning Spanish, it was just all about just getting out there and just trying, like not being
Right.
afraid to like make mistakes and just
Right. That's another thing I want to touch on.
okay.
So, because English is such a very global language,
Mhm.
it's for lack of a better term, very domineering. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yep. Right.
um, when people hear my accent, they
Uh,
hear, "Oh, she's not a native French speaker.
uh,
She's American. She's English." Da 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 da. So I kind of stumble over my French and I do bad pronunciation and I get flustered and stressed out, but I still want to practice. And so the people, when I go out in the public, they're just like, "Oh, just speak English, just speak English." And I have to like reinforce, like, no, no, I'm here to practice. So
exactly.
please speak French with me, even though I'm gonna talk super slow and use incorrect grammar, but please, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. So if you come, I think that's something that happens in a lot of countries because global or English is such a powerful or a popular language, and everybody's learning it. You know what I mean? So it makes things easier. But if you're passionate about learning that language, you have to be about it. You
Yeah,
know?
that'd be hardcore and be like about it. I'm so glad you said that. No, girl, can we like divert just a little bit because you have
Yeah.
locks like me and I love your hair.
Oh,
And so
thank
like
you.
I'm like, and that's probably another in top 10. It's always about like black hair care. How do you get
Hmm.
your hair done? Where do you get your hair done? All that good stuff.
So this is wonderful because I'm so happy to share all this info. But anyways, I actually am a very frugal person and I twist my hair myself, but my hair products, because there are a lot of like African immigrants here, there's a lot of Brazilian immigrants here, there's a lot of people from the Caribbean here. They have a lot of black hair care shops. They have black salons here. Yes. Yes, they are bountiful.
Little Luxembourg.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I
So,
didn't know that.
I mean, I'm sure I could find a loctician, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I can do it myself. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about that here in
But you
Luxembourg.
can still buy like your cocoa butter, and you can find like products like that, and like no
Yes, shea
issues.
butter, cocoa butter, the whole 9 yards.
Yo, I told you, be everywhere, audience. See, I told y'all. I told y'all. People are always like, "No, Jackie, what am I gonna do about my hair? My hair."
Hmm.
So I was so happy, like you said that, and probably like besides, I guess the cultural differences between um Luxembourgians. What are they called? What are people from Luxembourg?
Luxembourgish. Yeah.
Luxembourgish. I was like Luxembourgish.
Yeah. I didn't know at first either. Now I know.
And I definitely know like with the Dutch who could be not rude, but it's just different when you're just used to people being like, well, you're hi, blah, blah, blah. They're like,
Yes.
yeah, oh. And then like when
Yes.
they say going Dutch on a bill, I don't know if like they're like that in Luxembourg, but I know in Amsterdam, like people are real like, and you owe $2.52. And you're like, really? Really? but
Okay.
but yeah, but I want to hear like some other things that are like, you're like,
I can't honestly, I haven't been out to eat with a big group here in Luxembourg, but
okay.
for Spain,
Uh-huh.
that rule is for real.
Okay.
I remember I went out
Uh-huh.
with like a friend
Uh-huh.
and his two other friends, and we had to split the entire bill. I was like, what? I got I got like a glass of wine. Are you guys serious? It was like, and I had to pay like $20. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I brought it up to my friend, and he was like, yeah, that's how we do it here. It's for the group. It's not just the individual. And like coming from America,
Yes.
I always say this, like, I mean, okay, for the majority, looking back, now that I've been to other countries like Brazil and here where like they have universal healthcare and everything, and pretty much the group mentality is present.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not so much individualism. America's very every man for himself. I mean, which is not a horrible thing. It's just
Right.
different. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize how much of that mentality I have. And I'm just like, oh, like I'm gonna pay for myself. Why would I like you? That don't mean I don't like you because I don't want to pay for you. But I don't feel like
Yeah,
I should
but
have to pay
why?
for
Like, why?
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, you know what I mean? Just that little aspect right there made me reflect on like why Americans are the way they are, you know what I mean? Even with big things, even why everybody's so against universal healthcare because of this mentality of individualism, you know what I mean? Which
Mhm.
could help and harm us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, that whole split the bill thing is pretty accurate. Yes.
Okay. No, Jackie, I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I wanted to go back a little bit more about your background. Because,
Okay.
like, you studied chemistry, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Because I want to, like, everybody, especially people like in the sciences, are like, I'm a science person. I can't, like, I got to do something sciencey. But here you are, girl, exploring the world. So, like,
Yes, yes.
give me the 411 on that. Like, because most,
So
uh-huh.
So I'm gonna give you we're gonna keep it real on this
Yeah,
video. We're
sure.
gonna keep it real.
Uh-huh.
So before I graduated college, I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to travel. I've been waiting. I focused on school. Let me just, I'm gonna apply for jobs across seas. I applied. They was like, oh, no, like visa issues. Oh, your French is not up to the level we need it to be. All of this, all of that. So I was like, okay, boom. I'm gonna go and go to live in the country in the easiest way I can, which is being an au pair, because you
Mhm.
get a visa, you can go and practice the language. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm here. I also enjoy being with kids and everything, but that's the reason I'm here to practice my French to be able to apply for a job in my field here in the Luxembourg, France area.
So you have a strategy, girl. Like this, you are all like, this is a plan. Like this is a
Yes,
stepping
ma'am.
stone to get you somewhere else. And I want
Yes,
people
ma'am.
who are listening to this to listen to her because this girl's thinking about it. She got like a roadmap and she was
Hmm.
like, okay, route A didn't work for me, but like I
Right,
know what I got to do to make it to the next thing. So
right.
this like gig right here, I love kids. I want to check out the different countries. I want to master the language, and then bam, like she got her
Hmm.
degree, then she getting her language, and she good.
Hmm. Exactly. Yes, that's the plan. I mean, I'm not gonna say that things have not been like, oh, thrown off course, or oh, I gotta reroute this. This didn't happen for me. But like I always kept that same goal in mind. You know what I mean?
And I think
And
one
that's
of the
gonna happen.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that really resonated from one of the first things you said was just keep it moving. And that is like one of my like catchphrases is that yeah, there'll be obstacles, but you just gotta keep moving forward. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the road isn't exactly how you want, but if you got that goal,
Mm-hmm.
and girl, you got that goal, like you already
Right.
doing more than like most people. I feel like the
Right.
biggest obstacle for most people, at least that I talk to, who want to be where you are, is just getting up and like doing it.
True. True. Honestly, like as I was like getting on the plane and stuff, I kind of felt like I was watching myself. It was kind of unbelievable, you know what I mean? Because I was like, as I'm packing my things, getting my passport, I'm like, huh, I'm really doing this. Okay, like you know what I mean? Because it's so unreal to be actually like packing your stuff, getting on the plane, being like, oh, we're doing our stopover in London. Just like, wow, this is really my life. You know what I mean? So it can feel kind of surreal, but like once you push yourself to do it, like you know what I mean? It flows easily. You just keep moving automatically.
Now, how long is this contract? How long are you going to be there?
1 year.
1 year. Okay. So let's talk about what you packed for 1 year because that is another thing. People think they need 6 suitcases full of stuff and that they can't find anything they want where they're going to be.
So I learned the hard way when I went to Spain last summer. I packed, everything for what I could possibly ever need. And that got me in so much trouble because, of course, you're going to buy things. You know
Yes.
what I mean? You're going to buy things when you get here. Be like, oh, I want to buy some clothes from Luxembourg and say, like, oh, I got this in Luxembourg. Oh, I got this in Spain. So I learned my lesson. This is what I brought to Luxembourg. I brought 2 pairs of pants, a week full of underwear, and 2 sweaters. And of course, like my toiletries and stuff. And that was it. And because I knew I was going to buy like a crap load of stuff here, you know what I mean? So I would say keep it very minimalist if you're going to be here a while. But if you're going to be here,
Yeah.
a short term, yeah, bring everything. But like if you're going to be here for like a year, just bring like a week
Yeah.
worth of stuff.
Because you'll be all right. Like you'll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because even now when I get on a plane, my mom was like, "Did you bring this? Did you bring that?" And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Mama, no matter where I'm going, like I can pretty much get whatever I want, and sometimes I can get it like way cooler." So
Yeah. Yeah.
it, it's all good. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk a little bit because you're a Chicago girl, and one of the things I love when we were trying to figure out times and time zones and all of that, you had something a little automatic that you had already created. Talk about like time zones. So I'm going to talk a little bit about staying connected with like family members and figure that out because I was like, oh look, Jackie girl is she knows what's up. Okay, look, I was like, I'm going. This is a pro tip from from Jackie. Look, I was like, I'll have to adopt this one.
It was the okay. I got it from how businesses put their business hours up on Instagram, right? I think I got tired of everybody calling me at 3 in the morning here. I was just like, okay, you guys. Because clearly me saying, oh, I'm 7 hours ahead of you, I'm not gonna be up when you send that are you up text. I'm never gonna be up. I'm never gonna be up. So so yeah. It really works. It really helps me. Yeah, I mean, because I took it down for like one day to put like a Malcolm X picture up because like everything was going on. I went to show my solidarity, and literally all my friends just forgot the schedule and just was like, oh, 3 a.m. Let's call Jackie, and I was like, alrighty, so I got to put it up because clearly people don't remember.
Yeah, so guys, like for the people listening who are not watching, she has like what her times are, like how it works, and
In my profile pic,
yeah,
yes,
in her profile pic, but she has it in like Chicago. That's Central Time, right? Central Time.
yes. So
So she
nobody
has,
has to do any extra thinking,
so you don't got to go to an app. You don't got to try to figure it out. You just like
right?
it's between this time and this time. Nope, can't call her.
Yeah. And it works for me because, my mom would call me. She's like, why are you not answering? I'm like, well, I was comatose. That's why you're ignoring me. I'm like, no, I was dreaming.
I think, and then so like, what do you, when folks call you, are they just calling you cell phone to cell phone, or do you folks use like WhatsApp? How would you recommend to people who are just figuring out like, how am I going to stay connected to my mama? Because I know that is another question I get asked.
So there's two ways you can do it. So you can keep your home phone plan and just get a SIM card from the country that you're in. And then, you know, if your phone is unlocked and everything, you call your phone company and tell them like, hey, I'm in this country. I want to put this SIM card in there. What's the code? Da, 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 all of that. Or you could just surf from Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi like I do for free and use WhatsApp to communicate with people. WhatsApp, Google Hangouts, um, Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that's pretty much how I communicate with everybody.
Okay. But you feel like you're able to talk to your parents regularly. You're able to like connect. Say, do you feel like you're connected with your family and friends? Like you get to see what's going on in their lives? Because I know that it's a lot of people have a lot of a fear around losing that connection with both their family and friends. And then I'm going to piggyback on that question and say also with Black culture. And I know you watched my my other video, so I asked everybody this because there are so many people who think when you leave this country, when you leave the U.S., you aren't Black American anymore. You're giving up on like the race, the struggle. I mean, so much like like.
Wow, that's deep. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
To be honest, especially with everything going on right now, man, I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty patriotic. You know what I mean? And that's like the African American flag. So like me bringing that flag with me everywhere I go, it's like a constant reminder of like my culture, my heritage, and my people. You know what I mean? So that helps me personally stay connected as a Black American. Um, it was really hard. It was really hard when all the things with Black Lives Matter and the protests were happening. But there was other Americans that I connected with, you know, Black Americans, non-Black Americans here in Luxembourg that I connected with. We had conversations. There was even a protest here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in solidarity. And we all went together, and that was very, I felt very connected and supported with that. Yeah.
Are you happy you
Also,
left?
I'm sorry, what'd you
Are
say?
you happy you left?
I feel both ways.
Okay.
I feel it even with Corona. You know what I mean? I was just like, "Ooh, I'm glad I'm over here with real healthcare."
Yeah,
But then I
yeah.
also felt, I think we talked about this before. I'm not sure. I think we talked about it in the Facebook group
Mhm.
about African Americans abroad. The survivor's guilt. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Being outside of America and not, you know, going through what everybody else is, all the Black people are going through, but, you know, just watching it from a safe place. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's another topic.
Mhm.
Safe-ish place.
Yep.
No, black people struggle worldwide with racism, but
Yes.
you know what I mean? There's definitely survivor's guilt, but like doing what you can, you know,
Mhm.
showing solidarity, going to protests, and even like I educate people here. Like I've talked to the oldest kid that I work with, and she just asked, she's like, "What's going on in America?"
How old is
You
she?
know what I mean? 12.
12. Okay.
She just came and asked me. I was really happy. I was surprised she would ask me, but she was just
Wow.
like, what's going on? So I was able to give her I packed it all up in 5 minutes about what happened. You know what I mean? So being able to educate folks here, you know, Europeans that don't have firsthand experience of what's going on in America, you
Hmm.
know, and I feel like that's kind of my voluntary job that I've taken. You know, it's not your, if you don't want to educate people, you don't have to. But I mean, I like to share my culture, and you know, giving information to people helps break down biases and creates allies. Um, so yeah, I hope that answered your question.
No, Jackie, you did. And I'm sorry you was going on. You was going to talk about something else, and I interrupted you, and I apologize
Oh,
for
I don't
that.
remember.
It's,
Nope,
it's
no,
so
no.
good.
This is a conversation. That's how it goes. It
Yeah, yeah.
flows, you know.
Well, you do just just hop back in. But I want to talk a little bit about the question you asked because I agree. Like there is in my experience there is no place that I've been that there hasn't been zero anti-blackness or some hint of racism. That includes in Africa. But I'd like to hear about your experiences in like Europe and like what that's been like for you and how it differs from being in America. Because I feel like Chicago's a pretty black city.
Mm,
White people.
mm, okay, so Chicago has a lot of black people, but it is very segregated.
Okay.
Like,
Like Pittsburgh, where I'm from. Okay. Like
yes,
where I'm
yes.
from. Okay.
I've had great experiences and I've had not so great experiences. Like with Spain, yeah, it's been some kind of weird things that have happened. I don't know if I should go into detail, but it's been some questionable behavior.
Okay. Because I know when
Um,
I was in Spain, everybody always thought I was a prostitute. But that's because
okay, okay, well,
I'm
yes, there we go.
like I'm just
There we go.
they
I was like,
always
are
thought
we
I was
going?
I
I
couldn't
was
even wait for the bus stop. People would always like drive up and it was just like, just stop. Like
okay.
go home, you dirty little man.
Okay. All right. I was just like, are we keeping this channel PG? Like what we yeah. It would there was one time, it was and a lot of things with racism is like you don't know, was that racism? Am I being overly sensitive? I went on a date with somebody
Mm-hmm.
from an online app.
Okay.
And he showed up and he was like wearing this like weird, ugly shirt. It was really ugly. I was like, why is he wearing this ugly shirt? It was a shirt with bananas on it. And I was like, whatever,
Oh,
maybe he
already.
really likes bananas. Or
Yeah.
he, yeah. It was some Hawaiian shirt. I was like, whatever. And then at the end of the date,
Uh-huh.
he was like, oh, can we take a picture? And I was like, okay. I
That's
mean, I'm
odd.
pretty, but okay.
Yeah, that's
And I
odd.
mean, like, I've had that happen before, but like, it wasn't anything weird. But like, we took the picture and he was like going like this with his shirt, like, oh, like pointing to the banana shirt. And I was like, oh, is he calling me a monkey? Are you serious? But like, at first I was like, okay, Jackie, are you being overly sensitive? Are you reading too much into it? Maybe he just really likes bananas and I don't know. Maybe he's just, I don't know, he likes bananas and thinks they're pretty, and maybe he thinks I'm pretty. Maybe he just put two pretty things together, or maybe he's being racist. I don't know. But yes, that little situation, I was on a run one time and I got called a puta.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I'm on a run. I'm not, I'm literally wearing a tank top and some leggings, some exercise pants. What? So yes, that was Spain. Luxembourg, I can't really say anything overtly racist, but compared to Americans, the disposition of people is very rude. So I can't really differentiate what is racism or what is just
Okay.
them being rude,
Okay.
to be
Okay.
honest.
Oh, girl.
I can
Oh,
nehave tell.
yeah, okay, okay. No, that's real. That's real talk, girl. That's real
Yeah.
talk. And
Yeah.
like one of the things for me is I always want people to have people get their like real deal. Like there's an amazing
Mm-hmm.
things about like living abroad. You get to meet
Mm-hmm.
amazing people. I love connecting with people in the African diaspora and seeing how like
Mm-hmm.
we're like, how we're different. Like seeing
Mm-hmm.
black people speak languages other than English is so cool to
Mm-hmm.
me. But like there are the minuses too, and like sometimes you're just like wow, and then you really realize your privilege as an American as well, because
Oh
I
yes.
definitely know that like even though I'm half Nigerian, I get treated differently from Nigerians.
Really?
Yeah, once people figure
Mm.
out I'm American, once people figure out I'm American. Now
Oh
when they
yes, it's
yeah
like this magic switch
yes,
turns on.
it's magic
They're like,
yeah
"Oh, you're not one of those
yeah
Africans,
yeah
hi."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah exactly.
no, no,
It
no.
is. I can see people's face complete. Oh, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so disgusting.
It is.
Ugh. Yeah,
It absolutely is. So you've definitely experienced that too.
definitely,
Okay,
definitely.
I want to talk a little bit more about like your traveling. So
Hmm.
in your schedule, like, do you get like to explore other parts of Europe? Or you hopping on the I mean, this is obviously pre-corona. I'm sure you're just doing what you do now. But like, are you getting to go places? Like, did you get to do that in Spain or?
So to be completely honest, when I first got here, I got here in the fall.
Okay.
And Luxembourg in the fall and winter is really overcast all the time.
Oh,
So I had a hard time, adjusting, and I just didn't have any energy to go anywhere. Even though I was excited to be here, it was just, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't start going anywhere until like maybe January. And so I made a plan, I like a strategy. I made a plan to take a big long trip once a month, but then do like weekend trips or day trips to like neighboring cities every other weekend.
Okay. You
So
don't work on weekends.
no, I mean, occasionally the family will ask me to babysit, but then like they do it ahead of time so I can plan. They do it usually like
Girl,
a week or two in advance.
yeah, girl.
Can't watch the kids. We have fun anyway. I love hanging out with the kids. So the first place I went to was Brussels. I went to Brussels for New Year's. So that was like a day trip. And then after that, I went to Strasbourg, and that was a day
Oh, I
trip
used to
as
live in
well.
Strasbourg. Okay.
No
Yeah.
way. Oh my God, where haven't you lived?
Strasbourg is so cool. I have so many good friends that I used to like walk like I'd be like, Mama, I'm hopping over to Germany right now. Now I'm back. Now I'm in France. Now
Right?
I'm in
It's like,
Germany.
okay, like how the states are in America, that's how it is in Europe. You could just go, oh, I'm going to Germany today.
Yeah.
What? I'm going to France today. What? So yeah. Have I been anywhere else? Um, so I've been to Strasbourg,
Now,
Brussels.
when you do your weekend trips or your longer
Mhm.
trips, do you go by yourself or do you go with your friends here? Or how
So
do you do
usually I go with a group. I
that?
do
Okay.
go with a group, like in the au pair group. But then I'm not averse to going by myself
Okay.
either. You know.
No, well, I'm so glad you said both. One, that you go with like au pair group, because I think that's so amazing because I have so many
Mhm.
friends who are like, I would go somewhere, but I don't got nobody to go with, which I'm already like,
Uh-huh.
like you wait for your friends,
Right.
like you might not go nowhere. But
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
two, I'm glad you said like you have a group there that you can do stuff with, but you're also okay going by yourself because I think another hurdle, and I actually did another podcast about that, is just learning how to travel solo and being okay with
Mhm.
that.
Mhm. Honestly, when I do go places by myself, I find I talk to more people because I'm a social person and I have to talk to people.
Mhm.
Yeah, whereas like if you go with a group, you kind of like busy with that group and you can't really meet other people. But yeah, I've been to Trier, which is in Germany. I've been to Saarbrücken.
Mhm.
So yeah, every weekend I'm like, okay, bye, 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 because it's easy. And then public transportation in Luxembourg, in the country of Luxembourg, is free. So
Wait,
trains,
you say
yes,
free? Like, is it not
yes,
paying money?
as
Gratis?
in nothing. They say moyen and they open the doors for you. That's it. Bananas, right? Um,
Girl.
yeah, so those are the places that I've been. I'm planning trips to Amsterdam. I'm planning I have a list.
Okay.
But yes, I have a list.
Girl, you already doing like the most, so go.
I know, because time flies, you know what I mean? And then we lost 3 months. We
Yeah.
lost 3 months to Corona. Borders were closed, couldn't go anywhere. So now I'm just like trying to play catch up and going everywhere.
What was it like during Corona in Luxembourg?
To be completely honest, I'm a very optimistic person. So I was like, oh, wonderful. All this time, let's make the best of it. So I filled my time with like working out,
Mhm.
practicing French, connecting with my friends, learning Krav Maga, like spending time with the kids, cooking. I got better with cooking. I mean, things were pretty quiet. Everything was closed. Everybody was very into nature because that was all that we could do. You know what I mean? Everybody went to the parks. Everybody was, um, yeah, really just like at home. Um, Luxembourg provided masks for everybody. Everybody got 50 masks. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? It just gets better and better.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
It's
gotta
all in the name.
look. I gotta
Luxembourg is a very rich, wealthy country.
look. I gotta remember that, like, I'm also doing this as a podcast because my facial expressions right now are just like, yeah, this girl's like, yeah, she's doing a lot. Like, yeah, she's 25 hours a week. You lost it 25 hours a week. Look, and health,
Yeah.
look, and healthcare. Now
Yeah.
you talk about free masks, like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, wow.
It really is the life. Like once you say it, it's like, huh, it's a wonderful life.
Well,
Yeah.
It is. And I what I also just love is that you get to share African American culture with other people,
Yes.
which I think is awesome.
Yes.
Which I love the fact that you got that flag and you're just displaying it nice and big and bold. And I'm sorry for people who are just listening that you can't see it, but
Uh,
like I still want to just harp on this because I hear this so much. I see it so much in like chat rooms of this idea that you lose your blackness when some kind of way you leave America. And like I'm here to tell you that Jackie, not this Jackie, and the Jackie I'm speaking to are like blackity black.
right. Blackity black. Blackity black.
Like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
she's living a glorious life on like her own terms, which I think is what everybody wants for themselves. Like
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't want that for somebody, and you don't want that for yourself, then I just worry about you. You got deeper issue, not you, Jackie, but like
Mm-hmm.
people who are listening,
Mm-hmm.
because like even when we're talking about survivors guilt and watching from afar the whole Black Lives Matter movement, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And I think
Mm-hmm.
for me, sometimes the way I process it is that my ancestors, at least the half of me that is African American, they wanted me to have choices and to be able to live the best life I could possibly live. And the best way that I can honor them is to do that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I am not fighting, because I'm still like, I'll damn sure fight for Black people forever, but it means I also have to live and I gotta thrive. Like, that's so important. So important.
Definitely. Definitely. Um, definitely. Yeah. I mean, just thinking about like, wow, just thinking about like how they fought for us, and the crazy things they had to do or deal with, and then not even being able to read, you know what I mean? And here we are, jet setting,
Yes,
starting businesses, being
exactly.
leaders, being influential. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So like
And
it like
it's bananas.
no, it is. It absolutely is. And it just energizes me. Even on my lowest day when it's like I could say I like hot places, Jackie. I don't think I could do Luxembourg because I need sun, I need heat.
Yeah.
I need healthcare too. But I need sun and I need sun and heat. I'm at a point in my life where I need sun and heat. But like I always, even on like my worst days, but it's hella hot, Jackie, and like I'm
Mhm.
dealing with bureaucratic nonsense. I still am like, you know what? Like I get to live this life, and it's so much more than like my sharecropping great grandparents ever imagined that I'd ever be able to do.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, I know you talked about, man, I know you talked about like how you grew up in the hood. I also grew up in the hood. I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
So yeah. I think about every day like where I came from. You know what I mean? I'm of course I'm not ashamed of those roots or anything, but it's just like, well, look at where I am
Yep.
and where I was. So it's definitely possible. So for anybody who's feeling limited or like, oh, I don't have enough money, da 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 da. You know what? That's another thing. To get here, I was like hustling. You know what I mean? Because I had just came from Spain. I needed more money, so I did whatever I could to get some money. I was doing Postmates, I was doing Grubhub, I was doing everything. I was
Look where you
like
are. Look
cutting
where you are.
grass.
Yeah, exactly. Look where
I
you are.
was like, I
Uh-huh.
need to get this ticket to Luxembourg. You know what I mean? I was babysitting 20 kids at a time. I was like, I have a goal, and where there's a will, there's a way. You know?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I think that that's like I consider that one of the magical traits of like Black women. Like once we set our mind to it,
Hmm.
like there really is not too much that we can't do. Uh,
Right.
but I think because of that, I also think that we have to really protect our spirit and protect our energy.
I
So
was about to say, I was like, ooh, where's she going? Where's she
yeah,
going
yeah,
with that? Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I think it's so
definitely.
important because we can do a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean we should, right?
Right. Everything is not our job.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I always try when I'm speaking to people, I always try to get that a point. Like, yeah, like
Hmm.
do what you got to do to achieve your dreams, but also protect your space, protect your energy, protect like that magic that is you. Because once people see it and realize you got it, they will try to suck it all out of you, though. All out of you.
Definitely. Definitely.
And
For
that's
real.
real talk. But Jackie, our time is starting to come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
These conversations are so uplifting to me. Like, I am so in awe of you, girl. You about 20 years
Oh,
younger than me, but like
thank you.
this conversation, I'm looking up to you because like you have truly lit up my day. I want to make sure everyone who's watching this has the opportunity to follow you. So let us know where you are on social, whatever you feel like disclosing, let us know. I'll definitely put it
Mm-hmm.
in the captions and also put it in the description box below so
Mm-hmm.
folks know. So the stage is yours,
Yeah.
Jackie. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you could just follow me on Instagram, Hoosier on the Run, and then YouTube is Hoosier on the Run, and that's HOOSIER on the Run. I know people struggle with it, so I always spell it out.
And you
Yeah.
can explain Hoosier because you're like you went to school in Indiana, so just explain people
Mm-hmm.
Hoosier so they know what that means.
Okay, it's a really corny story, but okay. So Hoosier comes from back in the 1800s when people settled in Indiana and people would knock on the door and then the person at the house would say, "Who's here?" Like who's there? It's corny. It's even cornier that I know the story. But anyways, yes, that's where it comes from.
It's not. You should like.
Yes, yeah.
Jackie,
So
it's
yeah.
been so wonderful talking to you. So we're gonna everybody out there who's watching is gonna go to Instagram. They're gonna follow her. Gonna go to YouTube. We're gonna follow her. Also, girl got some serious like cinematic skills. Like,
Don't do this, please.
we talked about. I was like, oh, I got to step up my YouTube. I was like, watching our YouTube. I was like, oh, I got to step up my YouTube game. I don't know if I can do a day in the life video like Jackie here with the film school.
No way, no film. That's another thing. No film school. I literally watch other YouTubers and like pay attention to the things that they do, like their transitions and everything, and I get inspired from that. That's it.
Oh, well, you want it, girl. You want it. You want it. So if you're not following her, definitely follow her. And again, Jackie, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation.
Thank you. The feelings are mutual, for real.
Yay. And to like the folks watching, like the O Squad, like thank you guys so much. I really, really love doing these interviews. I'm glad I transitioned them from podcasts, which I loved, to also vlogs. So you can just see like the phenomenalness. So much of communication is visual. So you're hearing this, you're seeing this. I hope you're getting inspired. I hope you know that this too is possible for you. There is no one path to get you abroad, to get you traveling full time. You just got to want it for yourself and then just go after it. So, all right, guys, until next time, bye. Jackie said bye.
Bye.
Hey, black girl, hey, you good? Because I'm fabulous. I'm a digital nomad, and my lifestyle allows my daughter and I to experience new places, culture, foods, and people. Living abroad and or traveling full-time is amazing. It is freedom. I can work from anywhere. I want more black women to experience the same sort of freedom. I help black women manifest their dreams of a life abroad or a full-time travel. Are you ready for a life beyond your wildest dreams?